What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So I just finished watching Max on Boxing, featuring Chris Mannix. And as I'm watching it, they discussed 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who is currently the undisputed super middleweight world champion, widely considered by many to be the face of the sport of boxing, in Saul Canelo Alvarez, who has 59 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'8", with a 70-inch arm reach. Now, they discussed Canelo Alvarez signing a multi-fight, 3-fight deal with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman, and Showtime President of Sports Steven Espinosa. 3-fight deal. That's going to see his first fight take place September 16th, more than likely Las Vegas, Nevada, against undefeated 2-division world champion, who is the reigning WBC middleweight world champion, former unified junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jermall Lyons Only Charlo, who is 32 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. That's going to be the first fight of a 3-fight deal. Now, Max Kellerman, he starts to go in on Canelo Alvarez, choosing Jermall Charlo over fighting undefeated 2-time WBC super middleweight world champion, Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer David the Mexican Monster Benavidez, who has 27 wins, no loss, no draw, 23 wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. And as he's going in, he's saying that it's a duck. He said Jermall Charlo is a very good fighter. He's a good counter puncher. But the fact is, Jermall Charlo has been inactive over the last couple of years. He has not fought in 2 years, since June of 2021. He's been dealing with personal issues outside the sport of boxing. And so Max Kellerman, he's been going in. And Max Kellerman is like, you know, this is a clear duck on the part of of Canelo Alvarez, right? He says Canelo Alvarez has been fighting guys who we know he can essentially beat, you know, have been past their prime or just not on his level. And it's time that we see Canelo Alvarez in the ring with the absolute best there is to offer. But he's strategically moving around. To that, Chris Mannix, he compounded that, right? He pushed back on it, and he said that David Benavidez was not available, right? He said that that was not an option for the first fight in Canelo Alvarez's deal, that they chose to go with Jermall Charlo. So it wasn't an option. Canelo Alvarez didn't have the option to fight David Benavidez. That option was for the second fight of the 3-fight deal, right? Which is very confusing, to say the least, because we know that Samson Lickowicz, okay, stated that he stated that they offered Canelo Alvarez $45 million. And Samson is the manager of David Benavidez, but David Benavidez is also with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, and he's also with Showtime, right? And so Chris Mannix is saying that that wasn't an option for Canelo Alvarez, that the first fight was offered to him, that he had to fight Jermall Charlo. So this, if that holds to be true, then that means Jermall Charlo is the sacrificial lamb. Jermall Charlo was put out there, you know, as a winnable fight for Canelo Alvarez because of the state Jermall Charlo is in, okay, the mindset Jermall Charlo is in, the fact that he's been inactive, right? So, and he's going to get a massive payday. So it makes you wonder, does Jermall Charlo love boxing? Does he know this? Is this true? Because again, if this holds to be true, and that David Benavidez was not an option for Canelo Alvarez for the first fight, then what does that say? That they feel like they wanted Canelo Alvarez to secure the business with Canelo Alvarez, as much of a sure victory as they can possibly get with Canelo Alvarez, to assure that he fulfills this 3-fight obligation and earn big money. Now, we know he's set to make over $100 million for this 3-fight deal, right? Which looks like it's going to be over $100 million. How it's going to be distributed, I don't know, right? But David Benavidez and his team is saying they offered Canelo Alvarez $45 million with pay-per-view back-end money, which would see him earn over $50 million for this fight, right? And now Chris Mannix is revealing that Canelo Alvarez and his team are stating that David Benavidez wasn't an option. Somebody's not telling the truth. Or is there a gray area? Because this simply does not make sense that Sampson and David Benavidez are saying they offered Canelo Alvarez $50 million. Now, we know, according to Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, he stated that Canelo Alvarez was offered the $45 million, but it wasn't enough money to get him to the table for a fight with David Benavidez. And now Chris Mannix is revealing that Canelo Alvarez's team said David Benavidez wasn't an option. Why wouldn't he be an option? And now, one thing I'm hard-pressed to see is that nobody dictates what direction Canelo Alvarez goes in. Canelo Alvarez is the cash cow. Canelo Alvarez dictate what direction. If your name is not Eddie Reynoso, you don't dictate what direction Canelo Alvarez goes in. He listens and respects and follows what Eddie Reynoso advises him to do. But as far as anybody else, a promoter or a network dictating what direction he goes in, he doesn't abide by that. He didn't abide by it with the Zone, Golden Boy. He plays by his own rules. So I'm hard pressed to see that Canelo Alvarez couldn't force a fight with David Benavidez. But then again, if they're telling Canelo Alvarez, we're going to give you $40 million or $30 million to fight Jamal Charlo and guarantee that you fight David Benavidez next in the second fight in May, well, then I can see him going that route. Canelo Alvarez is hard-pressed, as Chris Mannix stated. He's hard-pressed to land a rematch with Dmitry Bivol, the undefeated WBA light heavyweight Russian superstar boxer, world champion, who is 21 wins, no losses, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 6 feet tall, with a 72-inch arm reach. He defeated Canelo Alvarez May of 2022 by a landslide. He convincingly beat Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez just can't accept that defeat. And so he's been pushing for a rematch, but Dmitry Bivol then went on to beat Gilberto Ramirez, okay? Zurdo, and he dominated him, winning every single round to solidify himself as a top 5 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. And so now he's able to control and dictate in the negotiations. He has say-so. He's not just a fly-by-night champion that got a buy and concede to everything Canelo Alvarez wants. Canelo Alvarez, no doubt, is still a cash cow, but Dmitry Bivol has proven himself now, and he dominated Canelo Alvarez, then dominated Zurdo Ramirez. So after that, he clearly is top 5 pound-for-pound and already beat Canelo Alvarez. So he has say-so in the negotiations, and he's not going to let Canelo Alvarez just run over him in the negotiations. So that negotiations, it fell apart. And so with that said, now we at a place where Canelo Alvarez is looking to, get that rematch, but he's unsuccessful in doing so because Bivol is not being a pushover. And so now Canelo Alvarez agreed to this 3-fight deal. And maybe he's looking at it from the standpoint of financially, I'm able to secure this fight with Jamal Charlo for $30 million, and then I'm going to be able to land a fight with David Benavidez anyway in May, and still earn big money, $50 million in a mega fight. So if he beats Jamal Charlo, that's a big win for him. Then fights and beats David Benavidez, that's a huge win for him. That says a lot. It speaks volumes. But again, like I said, I'm hard pressed to see that Canelo Alvarez couldn't force a fight with David Benavidez, who's coming off the biggest win in his career, and against Caleb Plant. And Jamal Charlo has been inactive for 2 years, point blank and period. So he could have pushed for the fight, but I understand business wise, he's gonna get $30+ million to fight Jamal Charlo, who's a viable option. and then still get the David Benavidez fight in May. The question is, like they said, is David Benavidez going to take a chance and fight David Morrell? That's the question that looms, because he could possibly lose to David Morrell and all the Canelo Alvarez business goes right out the window. So I'm hard pressed to see that happening. And the reason I say that is simply because the business don't want to make David Benavidez David Morrell, because the possibilities of David Morrell winning and Canelo Alvarez signed now and now have to fight David Morrell is not as big as him and David Benavidez. So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy Blue. I'm signing off. I'm gone. Peace. What y'all think? Who y'all think is next?